What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken and Ross present the Yeah I Said It podcast. We're expressing with our full capabilities to them. My one is in correctional facilities, brainchild of my child. I am the dad half of this operation, coming to you live and in public, if you will. Ross Cooper, and as always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
I'll leave anybody 2 times 4. Yeah, everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. If you're watching on other platforms, please share with your friends, your family, your pets, your enemies, the bug on the corner, aliens outside, raindrops, Mother Nature. If you're watching on two, please like, share, comment, subscribe, because if you don't, your worst nightmare will come true.
Okay. All right. That good one. We've had to being smooth with it. Um, Now here's the trick. What if the aliens aren't outside? What if the aliens are inside? Anywho, I'm just being philosophical for no good gosh darn reason at all. Um,
All right, secret
I've said it.
base. You got scrolls on here.
I've said this before. And I'm always gonna say the same thing. I'm tired of saying it. I really can't wait to the day we don't have to lead off with such things, but we are leading off in Lancaster, California, where just a day ago, a police officer was seen throwing an elderly woman to the ground by her head, pepper spraying her for doing nothing more than, I don't know, recording while her husband was being arrested. She wasn't shouting, wasn't threatening, didn't say anything, just stood there and recorded the pigs doing their duty. And for that was where being slammed to the ground, knee in the neck, pepper spray. So let me help. If you're wondering, yes, the cops are white. And yes, this is a black woman, older black woman who has cancer, no less. Now, I don't expect pigs to know she has cancer, but I also don't think that fucking matters. Um, Waiting for action to be taken. Have seen none as of yet. Just waiting if we're going to get the usual suspended pending investigation bullshit. Um, but nothing, no, as far as I know, they're just on the job, living their lives. This is what your taxpayer dollars are paying for. So when I hear morons talking about, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to such and such and such, usually it's referring to minorities, black people, or something of the like when they're talking about their taxpayer dollars being wasted. You want your taxpayer dollars going to this?
Being
Just,
wasted
just
anyway.
you know, But as we talked about before in the class, I tell you, you're talking about the waste of taxpayer dollars.
Okay.
So you have politicians doing bullshit, and
Mhm.
you have your employees. Because don't let us not forget, law enforcement is your employee. Your employees doing this, and it's just, you may have been right. It's you actually two things can be true. I said George Floyd, the idiot that sat on his neck. I said that was going to be the tipping point, and it has been. It's a slow tipping, but you haven't been able to get away with certain shit. You said it's going to take a while. We're both right. It's going to take a while because common sense, as I've always said, common sense would tell you this. If me and you, just this small analogy, me and you were brothers, and we doing some foul shit. All of a sudden, dad or mom comes home and realizes he's doing foul shit, and I see my brother get his ass whooped for it. That's a signal to me to what? Stop doing foul shit before I get my ass whooped. You would think.
Or be smarter.
Well, this ain't smart.
I know,
They seem to be
but
incapable of smart.
and this is my point why I said it won't change and why, as I said, it won't change at all. I never said it's gonna take. It's not gonna change at all. You wanna know why? Because you just used the common keyword, common sense. Do you think pigs have the capabilities of common sense? When you think and you're bred and you're taught that you are the law, even though that's not true, but that's how they walk. Like I said, There's a lot of shit they probably do and they get away with because it's in the house. Who's gonna snitch on their own? We saw what happened when they tried to do that here. Motherfucker got killed. So yeah, it's not gonna change until the system changes, my friend. No one cares about what happened to George Floyd, especially in the police force. They're gonna still do what they want to do regardless. RoboCop, here we come.
Derek Chauvin. That was the name I was looking for. Derek Chauvin. But yeah. This is just
It keeps happening. I don't understand. I don't think you understand my point. You think because they're getting charged, they're just going to stop. No, they're not. They're going to keep doing it. In fact, they might be smarter about it. Now, some are still going to be stupid and do it right in the open in front of everybody in broad daylight. But some are going to be real more technical about it. Just like I said, the stuff you sent me or that I sent you about the two brothers that basically got tortured in their own house for dating or allegedly dating a white woman.
oh, see, I didn't know what that was about. I think
That
you
was
sent it to me, and I'm like, yeah,
allegedly they were dating a white woman. That's why they got tortured in SE.
right. And
So yeah,
that'll be a story when I dig a little deeper in that. We can talk about it more at length. But yeah,
ain't gonna change, bro.
it's just disgusting to see, and I'm like, yeah, and it's nothing more. This is one of those situations, like I said, I always want to be as fair as I can, examine things from both sides, all angles I can, right? There's nothing other than pure hatred here.
Not
Nothing.
much to think about.
You aren't being threatened.
Nope.
Like I said, I can see if she was yelling or this or that, you
No, I
know.
still can't see that, but okay.
No, no, not at all. But I'm trying to give the built-in excuses for the lames. The just comply head ass people. Um,
Do
Literally just
anything.
standing there, just standing with a cell phone,
Right. Just stand there and record. Make
which
sure
is
you do
legal.
your fucking job.
Which is legal. Last time I
It's
checked,
legal.
that's legal.
It's legal.
And this is what you get. And it's enough to make your blood boil. And like I said, you should just comply as people. You got nothing. You got nothing. Not this time. Not most times you don't, but not this time. What more compliant can you get when you're standing there with a phone, not saying anything? There's no more compliant than that.
Well, she resisted when they came over and told her to stop or come with me. And she said I didn't do anything. So she shouldn't
Right,
have said that. She should have just immediately submitted
right, right.
and followed
And
orders.
it's just disgusting, and all of it, top to bottom, is disgusting. And if you want us to stop talking about it, if you want to stop bringing it up, stop fucking doing it. Stop making it so easy. As my co-host always said, this is just the shit that makes national news. I promise you, if I Google police brutality, I'm gonna get at least 10 hits on any given day. I promise you, if I Google police brutality against black people, I'm gonna get at least 10 hits on any given day.
That's
This is just the shit that comes across my desk, so to speak, in national news.
my point.
So I'm like, believe me, there's nothing more I'd like to do than lead off with a picnic. I'd love to lead off with cops pushing kids on a swing and actually doing their real fucking job.
That ain't gonna happen.
Like I said, rewind a couple months, I just gave them praise for doing the job when it came to the Texas shooter. That's doing the job, right? This is all about shoplifting from a fucking supermarket.
Shouldn't have been
How,
still.
how do you go from shoplifting from a fucking supermarket to an older black woman being slammed on her face? How do you go from a traffic stop to dead? How do, how are we still asking these questions in
You
fucking
shouldn't have
2023?
been breaking the law. Then they wouldn't have came. As simple as that.
Right, right. That's
Even though we all break laws a million times a day, but okay.
at least three felonies a day, according to the article. At least three felonies a
Yeah.
day. In case anyone hasn't been a long time listener and don't know what I'm referring to, there's an article that details what the world would be like without police, and the points it makes are like eye-opening. And one of them is because of all of the laws that get passed right underneath your nose, the average American average American commits 3 felonies a day. You're not even aware of it.
Oh,
Not even aware of it. But because of how, I mean, and just on a base level, this isn't even a felony. If you jaywalked, you committed a crime.
well, I knew that. That's one
Right.
one
No,
to do.
just on basis. So we get to the fact that police, law enforcement, pigs get to function with relative impunity. See, you have to have probable cause, right? At least on the surface. Oh, shout out to your state, shout out to Maryland. I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago when we talking about probable cause. The I smelled marijuana bullshit, that's not probable cause anymore.
Yeah,
You're gonna
because
take
it's
time
legal
back.
now. It's
Right.
legal.
Look,
So,
oh, but I can tell you from my time working in Baltimore City's court system, I can't tell you how many times I read a statement of charges
one
that
legal
began with, you
back then.
know, the scent of marijuana was coming from the defendant. That's your probable
It
cause?
wasn't legal back then. So technically, they can.
You didn't
It's
see me
recreational use
selling it.
now. It's legal now. You can't. Or they
You,
probably still will, but you can't.
you didn't see me selling it nor smoking it. But because I smell like, okay, so easy picture here. So you got a straight A high school student on his way to, I don't know, fucking Harvard, Princeton, wherever, some super respected PWI just came from his homeboy's house who happens to smoke. And now because he quote unquote smelled like weed can get harassed and possibly killed by the cops. That's what that was.
Should have chose better friends.
All right.
I
Because
bet you somebody's gonna say it. That's why I keep saying stupid shit, because I know somebody said it.
you're right. You're right. You're right. But it's tragic on levels because one, it happened. Two, I've seen no updates. None. These pigs are still like I haven't seen the usual BS of we're investigating. I haven't seen shit.
They did say
I don't
that.
even know. I'm sorry.
In the video, didn't the man or whoever was like, there's two sides to every story, and we're gonna figure
Oh,
out
that
what
right, right.
it's.
That built-in
But
bullshit.
most cases, there is two sides. But some, it's clear cut. There's no two sides. It's clear cut. And this was clear cut. The woman was just standing there recording, did nothing wrong, and you basically assaulted her. Nah, he's not
Yeah.
basically. You did. You assaulted her.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it seems clear cut to me. It's on tape. It's
Ain't
not
nothing,
on body cam. It's on tape.
ain't,
So
ain't nothing to discuss nor debate. But what do I
nothing.
know?
4K. You gotta call him 4K, my boy.
Yep, 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 yep. So that's just oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So since we're on the topic of further fuckery, good friend of mine, friend of the show, was a guest on the show. Our teacher buddy sent me something because she is Latina and her parents live in Florida. And I'm like, all right, how's this going? I mean, Florida is really like challenging Texas to be the final level boss of conservative bullshit fuckery. Like, wow. And that's hard to do. Like, that's hard to do. Like, you're challenging Texas for the level of fuckery, but you know, for better or worse, Texas's governor is not trying to run for office. Side note, you were right. I'm shocked, but you were right. Um, as it stands, depending on which poll you look at, old Donnie Boy is still the leader for the Republican nod.
Don't call it a comeback.
The level of sheer stupid of the American public is mind numbing.
I
It is,
told you.
and let me be.
I told you. Well, you give two. You think people are really smarter than they really are.
No, I just don't think they're that dumb. No, I don't.
Then
See,
that
that's the
that,
thing.
that kind of
You
you're just
can't
saying
be.
another way of saying you think they're smarter than they really are. No, because Biden didn't help how stupid he is. So now it's just like, okay, we people are probably looking for the other party, and he's the only real candidate. No one really messing with the Florida dude. He trying too hard.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. if you, because I'm like, look, if you go Donnie Boy, you may as well go full MAGA, full racist, like, and go ahead
Nah.
with DeSantis, because DeSantis is Trump on steroids. Like,
Wait. And that's I
so
think
you
that's the point. I think you proved my point because he's way worse and too extreme. It's like Donald Trump is like
that's
the
what y'all want.
no.
That's what that's what y'all
We want
want, bro.
Autobots, Decepticons. You know, we want races in disguise, and then sometimes we come out to play. We don't want complete stuff. We kind of want to play both sides. You know? Yeah,
DeSantis is everything MAGA wants. He
too
is
much,
hardcore. He
too
is
much.
anti-Hispanic. He is anti-diversity inclusion, anti-black. Like
What's
DeSantis
crazy?
is,
Ain't he Italian?
I have no clue. I have no clue,
That's
which
even
is
worse.
wild. But okay. So why are we talking about this? I'm circling back to where we started, which is wild. It is an anti-immigration bill, essentially. Florida SB 1718. Where am I getting from? This is from Pensacola News Journal. This is from Pensacola, Florida. And basically, what they're saying, I'm like, what? If you have a business that has more than 25 employees, you need to verify the immigration status of who's working for you. So essentially, you can't hire illegal immigrants. Florida no longer cares because there are 19 states that if you are an illegal immigrant, and I hate the term because unless you're one of the Aboriginal people of this country, everybody's a fucking illegal immigrant. But put that aside. There are 19 states where you don't have to be a legal resident of the United States that you can actually get a driver's license. Florida doesn't give a shit. If you are legal, F your driver's license. There's that. I'm Andy C. And then there's another law, and this is the part that's really what the fuck. I don't know if it falls under this category. Florida has now will be enacting a law that says you do not have to administer medical help based on your beliefs. What does that look like in real time?
That is
That
definitely
that that means if I'm a paramedic, I come to an accident scene and your car has the rainbow flag, I can say it goes against my beliefs to help you. If you come into the emergency room and I work there and you are trans, I can refuse to give you any help because it goes against my beliefs. I cannot begin to express how ridiculously stupid and dangerous this is, especially in a fuckery place like Florida. Because on a really base level, as a doctor, as whatever, you take what's called the Hippocratic Oath. Hippocrates basically says, as a licensed medical professional, I need to administer help. So hypothetically, me being me, if a motherfucker comes into the ER in a white hood, I am obligated to help. Believe you me, I'd help. I'd be talking shit the whole time. You come to the ER and I'm working there. You got a fucking white hood. This is your stupid racist ass get. I'm gonna sew you up just as soon as you get better. I can tell how stupid you are. Okay? Just so you know, I'm gonna help your goofy racist ass, but I'm gonna remind you how stupid your racist ass is. Okay? Because
add some
I
salt
have
in the
to.
wound, some salt bait, and then say, "Oh my."
But at the end of the day, stupid as you may be, you are a human. I am not going to let the training I've undergone be blocked by the fact that I don't like what you stand for. Florida has basically, no, not basically, Florida has now said, yep, if you're trans and I don't believe in trans, I can watch you die.
So was this just specifically to the gay people, or just in general?
This is in general.
No,
But
so if I say I don't believe in black people, man, fuck yeah.
no, you can't do that. There's no religious basis of it. Basically, this is anti-LGBTQ.
I just said that. You said no. Because
Okay,
I
so
try to think of any
let
other way
me.
you could discriminate. Well, I don't believe, I don't know, because you're black
Okay,
and
so let me clarify. This is aimed at the LGBTQ plus community without actually specifically saying.
okay. See, that's what I was getting at. I know the actual law doesn't say anti, but I'm saying it's really pointing at one group. Okay.
Here's the part that, again, and we all say it, we all know it. Racism is stupid because it's like, dog, if some of these asshats got their wish, the country would crumble. Why? Do you know how many jobs, quote unquote, illegal immigrants are doing right now that most of these motherfuckers don't want?
Yeah, construction, all that. Considering I know some
Construction,
people in
garbage,
Florida, and I've seen
especially
like
Florida.
some of the construction site is empty. They ain't even finished because they just left. They all just quit and left because Florida's like, yeah, we don't rock with y'all. So now it's a whole. I'm sure the housing market is trash now. I'm sure every other stuff is trash down there now because you're literally getting rid of your number one workers to do all the stuff that's really important that no one wants to do. How smart is that?
Like how I
But hey, that's Florida for hey. Y'all got it down there, man. Y'all don't. Y'all got it. I have no desire to be in Florida. None.
I'm not like I'm about to switch over to apple juice. Fuck orange juice completely. I'm about to switch over to apple
I don't even
juice.
drink orange juice. I don't drink juice at all no more, so I don't even care. You got it. You got it.
Just a
You and
level
the
of
Cayman and Gators can have fun down there, man.
just a level of stupid. Like, oh yeah. It's 2023, right? It did I did I
Going back in
step
time. I told you. I told you.
did we step
Dude,
into a time warp and it's like 1953 right now? Like did I miss something? Did
I
we
told you. I'm just. I hate being right because I'm usually right about the horrible shit. So this sucks. But I told you so. We're going back in time. Ain't
and I
shit changed.
want to and I want to say nah. Like a law is a law is a law, but as I read in a very awesome book called Disposable People, which spoke about literally the existence of slavery currently. A law is only as good as the people that enforce it. So you could put whatever you want on the books. Can you enforce it? So it's like I always use the cell phone law, for example. Well, you can't be on a cell phone and drive. Okay, it's on the books, but who's really going to pull me over for it? Can you
Mm,
enforce said law?
they will,
Well,
especially
it
here.
depends on how that moron is feeling that day.
I mean,
You
yeah,
know,
but for us, you probably don't. You probably want to either have it on speaker so they can't tell that you're talking. Don't do this, or have a Bluetooth or headphone or something.
oh no doubt. I've been talking to people that would be like, "Yo, hold up." Come back 2, 3 seconds later. Yeah, my bad. I just want to see on the cell phone. Like, okay, so yeah, it depends. It depends
Yeah.
on where you are for
Don't
sure.
text and drive though. Like that's just special stupid.
Again, prove it.
I mean,
I
when you
mean,
go flying through the window, that's enough proof right there.
okay, you talking about self-inflicted. I got you. I'm just talking about laws on the books. Like you put whatever law on the book. Like, truth be told, this is a weird. It's a it's an extreme case, but nonetheless, I think there are still states where doing things in the back door is illegal. How you gonna prove? Yeah, butt sex, sir.
Oh, I thought you meant in the car. I thought we was talking.
Yeah,
You talking
no.
about
Well,
that was way
that's
worse than what I thought you said. God damn.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a law. How who makes that law? I
Uh,
guess you can't go to the doctor if something get all right. You know what? This
Anywho,
went off.
but yeah, it's certain states where that's still illegal, and I'm
Pause.
like, how do you prove that? Like, I don't. If I'm a cop, I don't
Said
necessarily know if
delete.
I want to
Let
prove
me know.
that.
What is that
Like,
called?
aha! Oh no, I don't even want to rush in that. Like, nah, fam.
Prostate
Mm-mm.
exam. There you go. That's how
Yeah,
you
I'm
know.
good on that. But just I'm saying, like, you can write whatever law you want. Is can you enforce it? And I'm like, this is just goofiness, though, at its highest peak of goofy. Like, I'm trying to picture, and I want to say, but I'm not. I can't even go on that limb anymore because I cannot underestimate the stupidity of the American people. There's no way if you're in an ER and a trans person comes in bleeding, you have the ability to save their life. You're gonna be like, nope. I don't agree with trans.
Since
There's
when?
no way.
Yes, there
There's
is.
no.
People have done worse for less.
I will say this. If this occurs on the street, if you see a really bad accident and you're on the street and you could help with CPR or whatever, I can see a mofo being that ignorant. But in the actual hospital, in the medical profession, if someone comes through those doors bleeding, you're gonna jump into action. I have a hard time thinking someone
That's
actually
why would you say that?
employed at a hospital because you get into the
You're
medical
black.
profession to
No,
help.
no, listen, listen. You're black. Medical apartheid is real. You know how many sisters and us died in the hospital because of negligence and they didn't care? So now you have a real right to do it. They're not even supposed to do it, but they do it. Well, actually, they are probably supposed to do it, but they're supposed to be discreet. It's just that people call them out on the bullshit and expose them. But they do it to us already. So you don't think now, especially in Florida of all places, you don't think someone's that cold hard and stupid to do that in the actual hospital? Now there's a law to back them up. So I don't think they can be sued.
Then you don't deserve to work.
Wow. There's a lot of people that don't deserve a lot of shit. But this is the world we live in. So if you're going by that logic, a lot of people should be dead or fired. But they're not going to be. They have a law to protect them now. It's going to happen. I promise you it's going to happen. We're going to come with a situation. Something's going to happen to somebody in the gay community. They're going to go in there and be denied service and possibly die or have even worse injuries after the fact. Or have to go to another hospital. And then they're going to
Me,
complain. It's going to make national news. And then we're going to figure out that, oh, wait, this law just passed. So we can do about it.
the reason I'm having, and I hope I'm,
Yeah, we're going to do that. Again.
the reason that this is a tough one is because I'm not saying there are not racist people who have a modicum of intelligence. Excuse me. I'm not saying there are not racist people with a modicum of intelligence. What I'm saying is your average hardcore racist tends to not be in certain positions and tends to not have a certain amount of education because it
Keep
takes a
thinking that.
certain amount of stupid to maintain that, right? So I find it hard to gather that you went through the trouble of going through all the training it takes to get to that level in the medical profession and still maintain a level of racism or bias or bigotry that would let you look at someone in front of you dying and be like, nah, I'm good. You go ahead and bleed out.
Happened throughout history. I don't know. Like I understand it's 2023, so you think. Like I said, most races are stupid because of their beliefs. IQ wise, some of them could be geniuses. We've seen it in the past. Who made a majority of all the people in the white hoods weren't just all hicks and stuff. Majority of them probably made up, but a lot of them in positions of power in medical fields, in the courtrooms, lawyers. You gotta have some type of intelligence to get those spots. So yeah, being biased, racist, prejudiced, and all that, you still stupid. Like even if you're smart, you still stupid. You still have a certain level of stupidity inside of you. But I'm pretty sure there's plenty of racist people in the medical field. All these places you think that just require a lot of intelligence, and will hop on this chance to do this. It's gonna happen.
I hope not.
I hope not too. What's gonna
I
happen?
hope it doesn't take. I hope it doesn't take this happening for
It's Florida.
Floridians to realize how stupid this is, how dangerous this is. Like,
It's Florida.
because here's the thing. Here's my thing. A lot of people, we have a penchant in this country for exaggeration, right? Man, suddenly says, I'm gonna fuck them up, but you're not really. So here's what I'm going. A lot of people say a lot of shit up until they're really confronted with it, right? Like a lot of people, like classic example, January 6th, talked all that shit online and we need to da 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 da. Who really pulled the blicky though? Y'all big and brave in numbers, ran up in the Capitol, but if y'all was really about it, y'all that came strapped. Not with it in the bag, none of that. No, y'all are, if y'all was really about it, because I saw the special on CNN, a whole bunch of shit was talked online. We need to be ready. We need to come with it. We need to bring the rifles and about it. Okay, cool. Who got popped though? The chick on your side. So I'm like, a lot of people say a lot of shit until the moment comes.
But they, well, see, I give them the credit because they actually ran up in there though. They ain't like they was talking about running it and they didn't. They wasn't no Area 51 situation. They said we gonna storm that. Nah, they actually ran in that month. So,
Okay, but how much different does that go if y'all pull the blickies out? If y'all was really about it, if y'all was really on some stop the steal shit,
then
if
we would
y'all
have
was
saw
really on some,
executions.
if
Because
y'all was
then,
really on
yeah,
some fuck Pence, like if y'all was really about it, because I tell you what, if we rewind time, oh, there's a reason Reagan and everybody else started rolling back certain rules when it came to carrying guns in the open when it came to the Panthers. Because I promise you, if you try to come up in black neighborhoods, that shit would have went down. Just saying. So a lot of folks talk shit. A lot of folks ain't really about it. I say that to say, yeah, you can be racist from the comfort of your own home. You can watch Fox News and MAGA all day, right? But when it's really your job, when you really got a human life in front of you really gonna let your bigotry win? You really gonna sit there and watch somebody die because you a bigot?
yes,
That's why I'm saying,
they've done
nah.
that in history. I don't understand why you. That's a hard thing. The Congress, if they're really racist, they don't see you as human anyway. That was the excuse to justify all the shit happening to us, even now. So I don't that logic that you're saying you're stalking from someone who isn't racist and also sees humans for being humans. Not
I'm looking from the standpoint if you win the ER and it's just if it's six people trying to work on one person, right? And you the one motherfucker sitting there talking about, nope, I ain't gonna touch him. And everybody else in this room is like, the fuck is wrong with you? I don't think most people got the balls. I don't.
you're
I
gonna
don't think
find
most
out.
people got the balls to stand on their racism, their bigotry like that. I
Yes, they
do
do.
not.
Yes, they do.
Could you fall victim to groupthink? It's literally been experiments on this. If it's me and you and 10 other people in the room, right? And they put
Uh,
up a sign and they put up a stoplight and the light is green, and the other 10 people say, no, the light is red. Unless you are really strong minded, it's been shown you will go along the group and be like, you know what? You know it's green. Maybe it really is red. Because everybody else around you just told you it was red. And they ain't backing off. So extrapolate that to that situation. You got a trans person in an ER bleeding out. Is one of you, five other doctors and nurse, five other doctors would have you in that room trying to save this person's life. I don't think most people got the real balls to be like, nah, I'm
and you're
good.
hoping that those five all agree with that. Because you gotta also remember, it's Florida. The
Agreed.
ultimate Uno reverse card. I don't even gotta say nothing else. It's Florida. So I don't understand why you're surprised by this. But hopefully I'm wrong. But I don't think I will be. It's a situation is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen all the time, but one situation is going to pop. I guarantee it. It's going to
I
happen.
hope not. All right. This one was I hope you're wrong. I hope I'm right.
I hope I'm
And
wrong
this
too,
is
but I'm not. So yeah.
shifting gears partially to where you're at. And I text you about this. I'm like, did you notice it? There was a quote unquote mass shooting a few days ago.
So
Um, yeah. Overall, July mass shootings, 4th of July mass shootings across the country. And this comes from ABC News. 126 injured, 20 dead. And I'm like, I'm noticing. And I'm like, is it just me? Is the term mass shooting, has that shifted? Because I remember there's school shooting, Columbine, so forth, but then there's mass shooting. And the reality of the situation is, at least to me, and you can tell me because we're going to debate this right now in real time, it seems like the term mass shooting has got a lot more literal. And what I mean by that is, once upon a time, even now, when you hear the term mass shooting, what do you think? White male shot some shit up, people die. Literally, mass shooting is what you said. Some folks got shot, more than four. But the way the media has used it up until just recently, and again, you stop me if you think I'm wrong, is when you hear the mass shooting, the first thing you think of, white male that shot some shit up and people died. I don't automatically think about some shit that happened in the hood. And what it seems like is the media is taking a lot more literal application to the term mass shooter to now start including crimes that don't that are not exclusive to pretty much white men in domestic borderline domestic terrorism and the shit that they do. Is it
Okay.
me? Like I get it. I get mass shooting as a term literally is
Right.
some folks inside.
And that's what happened. That's why I'm confused. Like, what is the problem?
Well, let me ask you something. When you hear when you just see it on the ticker, mass shooting in Iowa, my bad, Iowa.
Yo, I want to stay catching strays, bro. You can't come up with another state. I just catch strays on all this. Okay, go ahead.
But when you see, the thing comes across a ticker or you get an update on the phone, mass shooting in Iowa, what do you think? Really? What do you really think?
I mean, because I don't want it's some white people shit. Ain't nobody else there. So that's why it was a bad example. Why you you should have said LA or something. But okay, all jokes aside, I would definitely probably first thought because statistically in the odds wise, it's usually white men. But realistically, I mean, outside of that, I'm just gonna think a lot of people got shot.
Hmm.
Literal term. Mass
Because
people
when
got
you
shot.
okay, because see, when I hear mass shooter, I think white male lone wolf. I think the motherfucker that killed all those people needlessly back in my home city in Buffalo. I think about like I do not think about some shit at a block party. And again, I understand the literal meaning of a mass shooting. I also understand how, you know, sadly, coming up in a certain environment, the possibility of gun violence is higher than others. So we ain't never counted hood shit as under the mass shooting umbrella. Seems like we are now.
This is like I said, how many got to be shot? What is it, four or three?
At least four.
I mean, the hood shit, unless like you just get caught slipping completely, it's usually under four people getting shot. So it wouldn't even really be categorized. If three people get shot, it's like it's technically not a mass shooting. It's just three people got hit, or they usually
Prime
go for
example,
one person.
I will give you the antithesis. When you hear drive-by shooting, what do you typically think?
Not
You
mass
see what I'm
shooting,
saying?
but that's why. But they're usually going for one or maybe a couple people. They're usually going for one, and they just can't aim and hit other people. so, so I mean, I don't. Some hood shit would be considered a mass shooting, but a lot, not really. It's more personal, or it's under four. Not saying it's a good thing. You know, I'm just saying like we not like a block party happening. You might hear shots, but they're really aiming it for one or two people. They're not trying to just spray a whole crowd. That's when I think mass like your intent is to spray up is to get multiple people.
Right.
Good shit, I don't really think. I think it's more personal. As my opinion. But I mean, I'm not
It
saying mass shootings can't happen because it just did happen in South Baltimore, Brooklyn homes. But I mean, that's rare. It's usually more personal. You might hear shots when there's a group of people, but more than four people getting hit, uh, intentionally at least. Nah, that's I don't know.
yeah, it's
But
just like I said, it's just a real interesting thing to be like, because now we're again, literally, it is correct. If more than four people get shot, no matter who it is, where it is, that is quote unquote a mass shooting. Where it arrived at the number four at, I don't know. But okay, for the sake of the media, there it is. Once upon a time, you hear the term mass shooting, you can pretty much count on white male, lone wolf, multiple boat, multiple targets, so on and so forth. It's Vegas, it's the club in Florida, it's all these instances of white men having a really shit day and taking it on the rest of the world. Got it.
but
Now you hear the term mass shooting, and it's like, oh, this might be for us, in like, okay, this is just some hood shit, which is sad in and of itself. which
I
is
don't think of
make no
that as
sense.
hood shit. Because consider how many people got shot and actually killed in that situation. That wasn't just hood shit. That's like I said, that's rare. As many people that got hit like that, because I think what was it, 20? Or like
Yeah, I
eight
think it's
dead?
20.
Yeah, 20
Yeah, I
people
think
got
it's
hit.
28 dead or 20 hit, 8 dead. But yeah,
Like
that was.
I like let's be honest, y'all. Like how many in the hood you think 20 people getting hit at once? This
But it
unless it's some
happened.
mafia hit style type shit. Like you just trying to tail the whole gang one sweep. Other than that, that don't happen. It's gonna happen periodically. We're gonna go one by one, step by step. We're not just gonna get you all one swoop. That's not what we do. I shouldn't say we, but I'm just saying that, you know. But it's it was a mass shooting. It was rare. I was shocked when I saw where it was at. I was like, wow. And how many people got hit? Like, damn.
Wow.
But also, recently, like I said, I'm sure the statistics still say white are still the majority of the mass shootings this year. But there's been a lot of people of color doing this now too, or non-white people doing it now too.
Okay.
So that's why I was still my first thought, but also after New York shooting, subway shooting, this shooting, and other shootings, and you had the Asian guy, and then you had the land guy in elementary school. Not too long, not Sandy, the other one. So it's like it's not strictly them with the shits now. Now everyone else is starting to follow suit. I don't know why.
I
And I
just
just saw
don't want
something
to
real
get.
stupid recently too, and I hope that's not true. Considering another mass shooting that just happened, but and it was a brother. So
It just seems like, and could be me going a little further down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. It just seems like I said, let's be real. There were because of media, there are certain images connected to certain terms, certain words. Like if I say Santa Claus, you're going to think of a fat white man, right? Um, until just recently, if I say Jesus, usually that is a picture of a white guy, and
it
you just
still is.
mentally in your head. Depends. It like I said, depends. Like we're getting better at just slowly unpacking these things, right? Um, if I say mass shooter, you're gonna think a certain thing. And what I find interesting is this an attempt to shift the narrative? Because all of a sudden you want to be real literal with a mass shooting, when before when when we hear mass shooter, um, we are hello, sorry, we are talking about again white male lone wolf, lots of manifesto and shit like that. So it's like it's very interesting that I'm noticing a shift now to well, literally a mass shooting is four people being shot. It doesn't matter who does it. Yeah, let's not try to water down who's the purveyors of most domestic terrorism, though.
I don't
Let's
think
not
that's watering
suddenly.
down. See, I don't think they're trying to eliminate it because there's other people doing it now. And like I said, the numbers will still support that it's still primarily them. So it's like, I mean, they can try, but numbers is not on your side.
Mm,
I like maybe for once, I don't think this is a conspiracy. I think they're literally just using this as a literal term.
right. But okay, and this is the part shifting gears again. This is the part where I have to say, all right, you were right, mostly right. I still stand on what I said, but but I'm giving you props. I'm gonna say you were right. So, in relation to the sub of billionaires that made headlines a couple weeks back, that ended tragically. Got this post right off of Greystone Trading. So here it goes. It was Monday, Titan is missing. Tuesday, we got a banking sound. Wednesday, they're running out of air. Thursday, wreckage was found. Now here's where this gets interesting. Navy SEALs knew the sub blew up on Sunday. However, media took a week to deliver this information, selling their narrative, even though they knew it was BS. Why? Now this is where things get real interesting. $6 billion missing from the Pentagon. I didn't know that, nor do I know honestly know why it's a big deal. But $6 billion is allegedly missing from the Pentagon. JP Morgan and Jeffrey Epstein deleted 47 million emails. That's an eyebrow raise.
Hmm.
Um, Joe Biden's undergoing an impeachment vote in the House. I, I heard a little bit about that, but nothing major. Um, the chances of Trump winning 2024 is higher than ever. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Oh,
so here's the thing. Were you right? In a
yes.
manner of speaking, yes, yes.
In no manner.
Was I
Yes.
also right? Was I
No.
also right?
No.
Yes.
No, you.
So let's
This
recap.
is not
And
one of those situations two things can be true. You're wrong. It's okay. You can admit it.
oh no, no, let me help you. Let me help. Let me help. Um, $6 billion missing from the Pentagon. If they told us this on Monday, what exactly were we going to do about it? I answer that nothing. JP Morgan Jeffrey Epstein deleted 47 million emails. When Jeffrey Epstein allegedly committed suicide under suicide watch and nobody did anything, nothing. This means nothing. Joe Biden undergoing impeachment. Okay, you're not gonna. And chance of Trump winning in 2024 is higher than ever. Didn't we just mention that? So my
I
the point
did.
I
You didn't believe
stand
it.
on, the point I stand on is very simple. Distractions in the media are not necessary. Why they're not necessary? Because out of everything I just mentioned, we wasn't gonna do shit had they told us Monday versus the end of the week.
Yeah.
Nothing would have
But
changed.
most people still don't know about this stuff. It's not national news. That's my point. If this was national news and all this came out, it would be the main topic. But because it wasn't, we were concerned about dumbass billionaires on a damn boat, a submersible. Now it's like, well, that made headlines, and that was everyone's focused on. And now everyone's focused on this Kiki Palmer bullshit. So yeah,
I mean, there's
whenever the masses are really focused on one thing and it's real stupid. Like I said, some things I'm good with, like George Floyd. I'm good with the masses being focused on that. That's what we should be focused on. When pigs do something stupid, I'm good with that. When government passed dumbass laws like Florida and oh boy, I don't even start on the Supreme Court. Boy, they've been dropping wilt numbers in terms of dumb shit. But yeah, we should be focused on what the Supreme Court does that makes these dumbass laws. We should be focused on Florida. We should be focused on the pigs. I'm cool with everyone, but a lot of stuff that we all focus on now, not saying you, not saying me, because I don't care. It's dumb. And then when it's stupid shit that we're all focused on, that's when the important shit that we should be goes under the radar. That's the point. Because the last time we had everyone's attention was George Floyd, and shit was getting done to you know we fucked it up. But yeah, that's the point. Why even chance it? You keep saying we're not going to do shit. How would you know if no one knows? No one knew this information. I guarantee you. I had to tell you about the information. Well, as you told me, some of them I had to tell you. Unless you're really, really looking in and doing all your homework, which the casual social media news listening CNN, Fox News mother ain't, and those news networks ain't going to feed them this information. Or if they do, it's going to be from a biased and lying ass view on both sides. So yeah, no. Why chance it if I'm people? Why chance it? Why? If I get you, you're like a cat. If I get you distracted right here, you won't know that I'm taking away your food.
oh, don't mind me. That's me loading up the invisible gun to shoot this right out the sky, sir. Love you dearly, but let's see.
I want.
Joe Biden undergoing an impeachment vote in the House. When when Trump was literally undergoing impeachment, no one gave a shit. Didn't get impeached.
Are
There's
you
that.
lying? Didn't they
Uh,
storm the Capitol?
that wasn't about impeachment.
I'm just
That was
saying.
about
Something was happening with
that
Trump. They stormed it. They.
wasn't about impeachment. Let's see.
I
Um,
don't remember what it was about. So what was it
JP
about?
Morgan, JP Morgan Epstein deleted 47 million emails. Okay, one, I'm shocked there's that volume of emails
It's
to
way
delete.
worse than that.
Two, Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know how the fuck Jeffrey Epstein deleted anything because he's kind of dead right now. But again, going back to this is what I mean. When these things were top of mind, no one did shit. JP Morgan, all the banks, let's rewind time to the end of the Bush administration, to the beginning of the Obama administration. When they gave one single like $1.2 trillion back to the banks that caused the crash. No one did shit. And this was top of
People
mind.
know.
This was in the media, top of the line. No one did shit. So that's when like all of this, it's a distraction. From what? They don't distraction. Let me put it this way. They could take it, stick it on the quote unquote radar, piss on it, set it on fire, and motherfuckers still wouldn't do a thing. There's no
It
need to
depends on what it
distract
is.
anyone.
Every piece of information that goes on the radar, it might not be important to some people, but some will. Like I said, the Jeffrey Epstein thing, when that first happened and he got killed, everyone was focused on that, and then something else happened, and everyone it went under the radar. Did it not? I can't tell you what else happened. That was the quote unquote distraction. But when he mysteriously died, and we all found out about that horrible island and all these celebrities and important people that supposedly went there and did all that evil shit, and he ended up dead because he was about to go to court. Everyone was paying attention, and he still died. And then something else happened. I do not remember what else happened. And it went under the radar because we're not even, no one thinks about it anymore. It's rare. I'm sure some people do. But there's a lot of people probably on that list, that client list, the flight logs, all that, who you
You
might
start
have a
looking
fan page
when
for, or post on
when you
your
start
wall with.
when
But
you
we
start
will
looking at
never find
research
out
history, man.
because it went under the radar on purpose.
Mm,
That's
mm.
why I'm saying some shit they will distract you from. That is my point. Just because your point is okay, they don't need to, they're still going to do it. Because why take the risk? Why
Everything
risk
is
it? Because the American people are so stupid, they will buy and get distracted by any. I told you the running joke of this generation. This is not my generation. We played a part of it, but it's not just mine. It's everybody's generation now because everyone's with the shits now. We have a low ass attention span. It's one thing and then go to another. The next day, hell, it might not be the next. It might be a couple hours span. We're all focused on this, and then something else happens and we're focused on this. It's not hard to distract. Like you act like it's a huge deal and burden to distract people from. It's not that hard. We were concerned about billionaires on a dumbass boat for how long? We should have been knowing they was dead the first day. Like, come on. Like, no, dog. I'm right. You're wrong. It's okay.
no.
Yes, I am. I'm right. I won. I won.
We're both right or no?
No,
Because
it's not both right. Stop.
classic example. Top cities being built right in front of our effing faces in Atlanta. No one's doing shit. And we all
It's
know it.
not on the
No one
right.
is
It's not
watching
on. It's
from
not on
that.
the radar. Because you want to know why? Guess what? What did you just complain about Tyler Perry and all the quote unquote Atlanta legends and people there? They didn't say the damn thing about it, have they?
Uh-huh.
You think if Tyler Perry and whoever else and all his rich ass black people friends said something, it was like, yo, this is what's going on. We need to stop this shit versus the average Joe trying to promote this shit. And you see what's happening to them. They're trying to silence them. And we don't hear nothing about that. How they're being tortured and all that. I'm sure many people in the masses do not know that people are literally being tortured because to be silenced about this shit. They're breaking into people's homes and basically kidnapping them to never be found again. How many people you think know that shit and it's going under the radar? But how many people you think know about this dumbass boat and these billionaires though? Let's see the let's play a numbers game. Because you think if everyone was focused on Atlanta Cop City and all the foul shit they're doing to keep that shit under wraps, you think people would just let that ride? Oh, I won. I won. It's over.
Yeah.
You got no answer for that. I won. Yeah. Ah, go, God.
You, I don't think because me and Black Ace, friend of the show, shout out to you. We go back and forth about this all the time. He always sending me these deep level articles about this, about the government, but I'm like, fam, we're barely handling surface level shit. And there's no grand conspiracy. I don't think everything is a grand conspiracy. Everything is not misdirection because, as you have said, people ain't smart enough to begin with. So ain't no point in distracting them when they ain't smart enough to pay attention to what's going on right in front of their
Yes,
faces.
it is because the short is the reason for that is because of the short attention span. But if everyone was focused on everything I just said with Cop City, because there's a lot of stuff that is going on that people are putting out, but a lot of people don't know because we're all focused on this one stupid shit. That is my point. And then the celebrities that everyone worships and all that shit, the black people in quote unquote power that we all want to be, ain't doing shit either. So they're not even making it known themselves. So if you had Tyler Perry and all the black people in Atlanta making it known, and you had the people on the ground, and then it made national news, you really think it would not be a problem? Because we saw what happened with George Floyd. The whole world was on fire.
That
Because we
was
were all
well.
focused on that. That's what I'm saying.
We
That's my point. Because no, there's some people focused on it, but it's not. I guarantee you the number of people that know about this dumbass bullshit is way higher than what they know what's really going on in Atlanta right now. I guarantee
okay.
you. You prove it, and that's the greatest example I can give you why they use distractions.
Okay.
Can't dispute that.
Jesus, I'm just like, and side note, you touched on it briefly. Like, the Kiki Palmer thing is hilarious and funny and simple all at
I
once.
don't care about that shit. But that's my point of distraction. We're all focused on some celebrity rich people shit that doesn't matter, affects your everyday life. Like I said, some stuff deserves think pieces. Shit like that does not.
It doesn't. Like it. Once I saw what happened, I was like, oh, all right, well, don't be an idiot next time. Next, like that was really it.
I don't care.
Um, the, for those who absolutely have no, because if you listen to this show, you may not have a clue. Kiki Palmer, great black actress, went to Usher concert, got sung to. Her dude decided to spit to mention his discomfort with such a thing on Twitter, and has the only thing I can say is I think oh boy just found out the hard way. Like any
Boondocks.
everything on the internet is forever. So the dumb shit you say in 2015, it's still there.
I don't know what he said in 2015.
Oh, Twitter does it. I'm like, your man shut down his Twitter. Like, you realize people can screen. It's almost like your man's figured out the internet, how the internet works in real time, like today. And I'm like, oh God, that's unfortunate.
I don't care. They
But
both wrong for the situation, and I still don't care.
yeah,
Like I said, I
it's
don't care. They both
that's
wrong,
the
and that's their business. I don't care.
only issue I have. The only eyebrow raise I got is like, fam, I'm still shocked there's dudes out there that think like that. It's 2023, and y'all still dick riding respectability politics. Like, wow, I didn't think y'all still out there. But okay, cool.
No, it's more about respect. It is about respect. I understand that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care. That's not my relationship. That's my problem. I understand where he's coming from. I understand where she's coming from. I don't care.
She ain't coming from nowhere. She ain't saying nothing smartly enough. But
No, I mean she did. She apparently dropped shade, and then like after he said that, posted more pictures like that being provocative or whatever. Basically,
that's
be like,
funny.
nigga, please. I'm like, all right, that's between them. Why do we
Should be.
care?
Should
That's
be.
not a think piece. That's not a think piece. Like I
I
don't
mean,
need
put it
to.
this way: it's not a think piece for those who think progressively as is. I get where women would definitely raise an eyebrow for it, but eh, I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow and find out we've been distracted from a billion people. This and like, again, I don't think everything is some grand scheme of distraction. Like,
It doesn't have to be. I just like I said, you see how easy and simple it is to distract someone? We're like cats and dogs. You see a squirrel, we're all gonna focus on that shit for a minute. Meanwhile, your house could be on fire behind you, or somebody could be creeping up on the door. I don't know. But like I said, it's not hard to distract people now, especially on social media and shit and TikTok.
all right, so let me put it this way. Again, I still think we're both right. Do I agree with you that it's not hard to distract people?
It's
No,
not.
you're absolutely right. It's not hard. Well, my point is, it's also unnecessary because motherfuckers are stupid. Like it's unnecessary.
Depends.
You ain't gonna do shit.
It depends.
The amount of people that's actually again, I go back to what we talked about a moment ago in the ER. The amount of people that's really about it, that much.
We're gonna
In the
find out.
face,
So I'm gonna
in
be
the
right on
face
that
of
too.
shit, the amount of people that's really about it, that much.
Oh, this Florida. You'd be surprised. If it was any other state, I'd be with you.
It's
But just
group
because it's
things.
Florida, oh nah, somebody dying because somebody just was being homophobic. It's gonna happen.
Well, here's the thing. Here's something we both agree on easily. We both agree that racism at its core is stupid. But you know what else it is? What's right underneath the stupid? Cowardice. This is why the Klan wears hoods, so on and so forth, because they don't want to out themselves. So this is why I'm saying I don't think it's a bigger threat as we believe, because like I told you, and again, there's numerous studies on what's called groupthink. I could be staring at a green light. I know that's a damn
I don't
green
like
light.
that logic.
If I'm in a room with 10 other people that all say it's red, eventually I'm gonna be like, shit, is it red? You know what? It might be red. Because I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of people thinking the same way.
Easy. See, that's so
Right?
easy to pick
So
apart.
if I'm in a room, because there's two levels. If I'm in a room as a medical professional and it's a trans person bleeding out, it's four other people in this room trying to save this person's life. I'm the one goofy mofo that's on some racist, bigoted shit.
What if they're not?
Am I really gonna out myself?
What if they're
Am I
not?
really gonna I'm really
What if,
gonna out myself?
what if they're not? So you're assuming majority of the people there are just not going to be there. What if
Yeah,
most of them, if not half of them, is that? Then what?
the
That whole
goof
group thing doesn't work because they all agree. And it's Florida, so I don't know why that logic goes out the window. You're just assuming at this point. You're hoping. It's Florida. No one's in
because
outraged about the shit that's going on down there because probably a lot of them can agree. So yeah, like I said, I don't see no protest, no nothing going. I don't. Maybe it could be the media not showing it. I don't know. I don't see that. I just see all the people that's being streamed just leaving. So guess who's left?
we're being distracted. No, I'm
I
kidding.
didn't. No,
But
I'm not saying being. I mean, I don't think that's much a distraction because it's happening in one state with this dumb.
okay.
Like I don't really need to because, and then the people that it's happening to, a lot of people don't freaking care about. Unfortunately. So,
Mm.
like I said, if all the people that this is happening to are starting to leave, which is smart, hopefully you can,
Like I
then
said, I'm about to stop
who's
drinking
left?
orange juice.
It leaves them, right? The people that agree with this shit, it's them.
Okay. I mean, again, I don't. I'm gonna go with zero. The
I'm on fire.
number of the number of people that are ultimately going to be affected by this is I'm going to go with zero. It's there. I don't think, like I
Always
said,
one.
I don't think people are about it as they think they are. When you in
Yeah.
the everybody walk around with guns, right? Everybody
Yep.
go to the range and all that shit, right? But
Yep.
when the moment comes, you really gonna put a blicky in somebody? I don't think most people about it like that.
If their
I
life
just
is on the line, they will.
not even.
Just
Like
win.
a lot, put it this way. Put it this way. A lot of again, I will circle back to the one time in human history I have to give law enforcement props. What do we talk about? Old boy could have went home. Nobody knew he was there. But an off-duty cop is the one who ended this shooter in Texas. That's
Yeah.
somebody that's back. That's
Right.
somebody that's back.
Okay.
But the average mofo, no training. Oh, you walk around these guns, these arsenal. You at the range. You a big man. But really, when it come down to, I think the amount of people that's really about it, that many. If you feel threatened or whatever, cool. You probably pull it out. You probably gonna warning shot it. How many people going for the headshot off top? That many.
If their aim is that good.
Just saying. Just saying. So no, I don't think most of these folks about you. It's real cool to be bigoted in your house amongst your bigoted, prejudiced, racist friends. That's cool. When it's a real human in your face on a table bleeding out, and you gonna sit there and say you ain't gonna do nothing to save them, I don't think they bought it like that. Not for real.
I
Your
think they
hatred
will.
ain't that. Your hatred ain't that. It's real. It's real. It's real cool to have all that tough Tony talk amongst your MAGA friends, but in real time, in real life, you ain't about it. You ain't about it for real. And
I
that's a good
mean,
thing. That's a good thing. But you ain't gonna sit there and watch somebody bleed out because they trans. You ain't that. You ain't nah. You ain't
yes, they
that.
will. Yes, they will. It's going to happen one. All I need is one. I'm not saying it's going to be a mass thing happening. I say it's going to happen one time.
I got
I
zero.
promise you it's going to happen one time.
Because then the other side of that coin is, you playing with your livelihood and
How?
a
How are you
lawsuit.
going? The law. You can't. If it's an actual law that protects them, that's the point. And
So here's
all
the
they have
question.
to say is, "I am yada yada, and I don't believe in that, so I deny this person's service." and they're
So
straight.
the trick is because here we go. The morons from January 6th thought Trump was going to save them. They found out real quick. Nope. So the question becomes, oh, it's a law. You want to be the first person to test that out? When
It's
that
always
wrongful death,
yeah.
when that wrongful death suit come to you, when you get fired and you got to fight to get your job, you
Someone's
want to
going
be
to
the
try.
first person to try all that out?
You want to know my answer to it? I think you know it. You want to know? Say it with me now. It's Florida.
Okay. Okay.
The rest of my case. Man, I'm cooking today. Let him
Okay.
cook.
Okay.
Call me
Okay.
Walter Kane. Oh,
All right.
Mr. White.
Denzel voice. Okay. Okay.
Cooking today, man.
Okay.
KCB. Andrew Reese with it.
All right. So I've been curious about this topic. I know you wonder what it was, but I'm curious if this is going to change your mind a bit. The worldwide leader in sports, ESPN, has had some serious layoffs. And it's weird because sometimes I drive commute in the morning. I listen to Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Well, Max is gone. Keyshawn is gone. I don't know about J. Will. They didn't fire the Dukies. Jay Billis is there. JJ Redick is still there. I think Jay Will is still there. So they didn't fire any of the Dukies, which is interesting. But
Yes.
they fired a lot of people. And your man Stephen A said two things. One, they all deserve better, and he even was like, he even shot out Max Kellerman, which was shocking to me. He was like, I don't want to see that brother unemployed. That dude knows his stuff in and out when it comes to boxing, this and a third. If you ever watch First
Yes.
Take, when you ever watch First Take, it was some times where Stephen A didn't seem like the quote unquote blackest person on that panel.
That's why I wrote match. He says dumb stuff. When it comes to boxing, oh, he knows stuff on boxing.
Yeah, but even with culture, like listen to Max talk, you gotta double check. Like, wait a minute, did this guy grow up amongst a whole bunch of black people in the hood? Like Max is the
I'm New
definition of
York.
that. He is. So and he knows hip hop culture inside and out, and he's respectful of it.
From New
You know.
York.
So,
So yeah. I mean, you kind
but
of grow up from the birthplace of it. So of course you're gonna know. Hopefully.
it is rumored that Stephen A got Max kicked off, so on and so forth. But the thing where I'm going here between that statement and then the fact that Stephen A himself was like, yo, this might not be over. I recognize I could be next. I
Ain't
doubt
gonna
it.
happen. Because he also
But
doubled down. Was like, I got a #1 show. I'm like, he's still the face. So you can't really get rid of him.
listen, you could. You could.
No,
And
that
that's
would
the
be
point
done.
he's making. So I bring it to you, my brother.
Oh,
Um, Given the fact that he recognized, hey, ESPN is letting go of really good talent, including Max Kellerman, who I actually have beef with, and yo, I could be next. Are you finally ready to be like take the C out of Steven C. Smith?
if I say this, he gonna do something that bring it right back. I just know it's gonna happen.
I keep trying to explain to you,
He
Stephen A.
has his moments, but I have just as many moments of being him being the C. So
No,
I don't,
no,
I don't, I don't.
he more
I
rolls with
mean,
wit than
I'll give
against.
respect. I'll finish. I'll give respect. Recently, when I seen him on his own platform outside of Disney, like his own little podcast and show, that's when I get to probably see the real Stephen A, the black side. But when he's on specifically Disney, that's where I see the C side. And I don't respect that. See, at least with Shannon, he gonna be Shannon on that and off. It like I said, he might say some C sip sometimes, but for the most part, he gonna be him. He ain't gonna switch up. Even for Fox, out of all places, Fox, he was
Okay.
still him. Blackity black as hell. Coming up there with Black and Miles and fucking Hennessy
In a do
in the
rag, yo.
studio in a durag. I ain't never seen that happen in Fox.
Yeah, that is some blackity black ish right there,
Like
yo.
for him doing that, unless he just goes completely off the rails like some Jason Whitlock shit, he got my respect. I won't put the C name next to him. He has his moments, but for the most part, he's gonna be himself and be blackity black. I'm good with that. You know, he a milkman sometimes. But other than
Oh,
that,
my God. Oh, hold on. Because we talk amongst ourselves, just to clue in. the listeners in the audience, in case you don't know, the C we're looking at is the term coon, which
Fantastic.
which yeah, which he is trademark coontastic. Uh, um, well, somebody's black on the outside only, but I know y'all know what it is. But I'm like, I can't. I think Stephen A. rides with way more than against.
Yeah, but that's why I proved my point. Because I've been seeing a lot of this stuff outside of the mouse. And that's why I think that might be the real him. The thing I
Mhm.
don't respect why I put the C on him is because when he goes in the mouse, it's a completely different tone. And he seems to ride or spit some shit that rides with them. That's why I don't respect. This is why he has the C.
I see, based on my assessment of Stephen A. The times where people conflate how to move in a system versus being a coon, and I think they conflate the two. What Stephen A. has consistently done to me is present a side of, look, if you move within the system, this how you got to move.
No.
Put down the weed. And
If
that's the fact. If you want to navigate within the system,
you gotta
then
bring
it
it.
means you got to play by.
No. And this is why the system will always be in place. This is why I hate people like that. The good company, man. That's why I call you a goon. Because if you keep trying to move within the system that's not designed for you, we're always going to be enslaved. If
Well, I
if you
mean,
go the
I wrote
Shannon route and you make the system bend to your will, look what happened to him. I'm not saying Shannon wasn't a household name before, but him being him the whole time, on and off air, that's boosted his shit real. And that might have blown the doors for people to do more shit. You even seen Stephen A do some bite off him and do some shit that he was doing on first take. So it's like that is a pioneer. You're breaking the system. I'm cool with people breaking it. I don't like people abiding by it. But that's just me. Especially, and then it makes it worse, especially if you don't act like that off it. And you're on your own platform, you're more trying to break the shit and be naturally yourself instead of being this, we had bosses, blah, 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 stay off the weed, blah, 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 blah. And then on the other hand, you go on your show like, man, weed don't really matter. It's all right. It's cool. Like, it ain't really a problem.
is it
Like, come, like, nah, dog, that's two-faced coonery bullshit.
isn't
Break
that
the
just code
system.
switching?
I'm tired of hearing we need to move a certain way. Blah, blah, blah. So you just gonna submit to white supremacy? All right.
Isn't but
That's on
isn't
you.
isn't that nothing more than code switching?
That's
Like
on
now, me
you.
personally, I don't like code switching
I don't code switch.
because I'm like, I get it. You can't walk into
There's a difference
again,
between
like I
being
said,
polite and respectful than just code switch. But maybe
code
that's just
switching
me.
means you're not gonna walk into a court of law and be like, "Yo, Your Honor, them's the ops." You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta code. You can't keep it a buck to a certain degree. You can't speak how we speak in safe spaces in certain other areas. So you build your own. But like I said, I think because I roasted his ass horribly for his take on Cap. I'm like, that's some real sellout sucky shit. But once Stephen A broke it down, it's like, all right, I can't argue with that. Like when the cat come to you and say, look, I want to be an NFL quarterback again, you know what you signing up for. That means you got to play by certain rules, so on and so forth. So I'm making calls your behalf, and then you come out here and show your black ass like, bro, we already had a
Oh, show
conversation
my
that you
black
was
ass
gonna
away.
play a lot of rules.
And it's the same rules that black. See, this is my beef with Cap. I don't have a problem with that. Because this is the same league that literally kicked blackball me out of the league for taking a knee because we're just peacefully protesting.
Agreed. But you
So
can't
fuck
turn
your
around and be
play
like,
by your rules. You did
I
me
want my
dirty.
job
Give me
back.
my job back. But but then again, this is why I'm upset at Cap. I don't know why you asked for your job back when they literally just spit on your face and stomped on you. Like I don't know why I will come back to them, especially since
But
you sued them too and won. So they definitely not gonna let you come back. So I don't understand why.
I wish he'd have used a different vehicle than Stephen A. Because I get what he was doing. I totally get what he was doing. Like, yeah, 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 cool, cool, cool. No, I'm straight. Really, just give my job back. We call it even. You should mean that? Yeah, 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 yeah. My bad, yo. I'm cool. I ain't gonna take no knees or nothing. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I bet you can come on back. And as soon as you get in there, you take that shit off, you show the red, black, and green, say, fuck y'all.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Call
Hey,
me cool. I ain't Toby for none of you motherfuckers. I get it. I get it. He kind of Trojan horse that shit.
he did.
However, I wish he had to use Stephen A to do it. Don't use another brother to do that. I wish you to call somebody else other than Stephen A to do that.
Okay, I can see that part. All right, all right. If
That's
you're
it.
going by that perspective, I got you because you used your own, and that kind of throws dirt on him.
Right.
I got you.
That's
I
what
got
I'm
you.
saying.
I got you. I
That's
got
what
you.
I'm saying. Because I
I got
roasted the shit
you.
out of
Him
Stephen
being
A.
mad for that, I got you. Like I said, he should
That's
have definitely used someone else to be the Trojan or to say F y'all. Because I wouldn't have, I don't have a problem with what he did it.
right.
Man, pulled up
If
the
you-
pass with pig shots. He forever my goal as a quarterback. He put him in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Right. So I'm like, I get it, but you know, it's because if we get past the surface level, Stephen A is kind of being rebellious. To get up there and be like, yo, shit, I could be next. And you know that's ruffling ESPN and Disney execs feathers.
Because he
You
knows
know
he's
that's ruffling.
untouchable.
You
But
know
I
that's
think
ruffling them.
you know why I know why he's doing that now and not like years ago before he blew up and became basically the face. Because he knows he's damn near untouchable. I know he says he could be next, but when he just pull out the stats and you have him basically working 10 million jobs a day, if he goes, who are you gonna place him with? Because he
'Cause,
might be
I
the only
mean,
reason now people watching ESPN. I don't watch that shit anyway, but he might be the only draw now, unless you're getting
well,
Shannon,
I'll put you like this.
which you probably should.
ESPN has gotten it right when it comes to their women talent.
No, they haven't.
I know. Yes,
No,
y'all on this I hate
no,
Malika
they haven't.
Andrews campaign is why
I sent you evidence of why on that one.
I gotta go
And
rewatch
there's
like the
more. And there's more. That was just one. There's more. Like I said, I understand. They got some fine women on there. Her being one of them. They're good for eye candy. I got what you're doing, ESPN. You're a smart guy. And then I also get what you're doing with the sisters or hybrids, as I like to say, and agendas they're pushing, especially on black athletes. But you know what? It's okay. She's
is
beautiful, man. We don't really take that
this an
serious.
agenda too? Is this an agenda as
Oh,
well?
it is definitely agenda. I just don't know if it's from her or she's being
Right.
prompted to say that shit. That's my only problem. Until we find out what it is, either way, even if she's being prompted to say that shit, stand up.
So
We
now
can
I'm gonna do. See, now I'm gonna take a deep dive. We'll discuss this next show because I'm like, I swear, Catch is out here getting at Malika Andrews just for
just
having
her.
an opinion.
No, it's not that. Because you don't hear anybody else having a problem with other women having an opinion, even if they did wrong. Because most of the men on there trash too. So
Okay.
no, they don't. They and then some will be saying dumb shit just like the men. That's why I said it ain't got nothing to do with the women thing. Malika Andrews is some. My age for her is completely different. Everyone else, they just have dumbass takes from time to time, but most of the men do too. So that's why I
Like,
don't really watch
here's the
ESPN.
thing: how are y'all mad at Malika Andrews but not at Perk for his weird, off the wall, uninformed
We
ass
are.
take?
We are. I told you, Perk. You the one that defend Perk, not me. I said he should have been got fired. We have this on tape. So don't use that with me. Everyone hates Perk. Everyone was waiting on Perk to get fired, and he didn't. He might get promoted.
We still trying to figure that. Like,
Like
yeah,
ESPN must be thinking because they're trending, like they're popular. No, they're hating on him. They hate him. It's not. He's not trending because people like him. They hate him. He's the reason why fucking Jokic ain't getting 3 straight MVPs with this racist bullshit. Like, come
okay.
on. He
All right.
single-handedly just destroyed the greatest season ever, probably.
Okay.
I said it.
Um, last bit, we gonna wrap this up. I didn't see it coming. Maybe you did, but I thought the heat had died down. But apparently, Dame wants out of Portland. It's been a lot of craziness in the NBA free agency. Yeah. One, I'll let you lead it off. Where do you think Dame's gonna end up? Like,
Miami.
what's
Miami. He's not going anywhere else.
see? My problem is he ain't got no leverage. I'd love to see it
Yes,
happen.
he does. He's using it right now.
You under contract for a couple more years, and you got a no trade clause. You gonna go where I send you, homie.
One, he's been loyal, so the league is paying attention to that. And Portland just came out and said we will accommodate Dan wherever he wants to go for being loyal and putting in the work. And then also, he also just said to make sure they keep their word. Anyone else that's not Miami, I'm going to be unhappy and disgruntled. And then teams, I think Shams or somebody else said they do not want a disgruntled superstar, so they're not making real offers.
Listen,
So Portland and Miami are trying to get a 4-team trade to get more out of Miami and that. So he's going to be in Miami. He's not going anywhere else. I'm telling you this now.
Canadian cannoli voice. I got high hopes for you, homie. We gonna see.
I mean, he definitely gonna be in Portland, but he's going to Miami. I'll be shocked.
I know the name that floated up was Brooklyn. I'm like, please, dear God, don't send him to
Oh,
Brooklyn. You need to stay in Portland.
I mean, yeah, you might as well just stay in Portland. I
But
mean,
oh,
Brooklyn's slightly better, but you ain't gonna win no title there. You
that's
go
the
to
other
Miami, you
question.
got a chance.
Because they was floating around Philly. So I'm like, who would I want to see Dame with more, Embiid or Jimmy?
Jimmy. Jimmy and Bam. Remember that. Versus just
Okay.
Embiid,
Embiid
who
and
doesn't
Maxey.
douche in the playoffs, by the
Maxey's
way.
not a bum, sir. That's why I got Maxey's not a bum.
I think you forgot what I said. Embiid that doesn't douche in the playoffs and is injury prone. So if I'm going to the East, why not go to the team that's been in the Eastern Conference, what, 4 times in the finals twice in the last 4 years?
And
They were
current
literally one
reigning,
piece away.
yeah, but you left something out though. Current reigning MVP, so that's not to be completely
Regular
overlooked.
season. He can't get out the second round.
I tell you this.
He's not a one on a championship team.
Okay, I tell you
But
this. If
for
it
the
was
man,
Philly and not Miami in the finals, we wouldn't be talking all this shit about him.
why are you
Jokic, I
saying
tell you
if?
that.
I hate ifs.
Just saying.
We know it's not no. We're not just saying he keeps getting his
When you
ass
look
cooked
at the
by a
head to
40 year
head,
old Al Horford. So no, what
when
the
you look at the head to
no,
head numbers between Embiid
no,
and Jokic,
no. You going off one game. It's like no. And then Embiid ducked the smoke for the rematch. Did we forget about that? That puts that goofy ass that punk self. That punk stuff. I was about to say some other stuff. I almost came back. But yeah, code switching. But yeah,
really, really.
I'm code switching right now. I'm sorry. I do
All
got a
right.
cold switcher here, but yeah, nah, he ducked smoke, man. So I don't want to hear that.
Well, right now, I think the question. There are two questions. I always say, okay, what's the question? Right now, at least on paper, the question is, can you beat Boston 4 times in 2 weeks? That's the
Yes.
question.
Well, they? Yes. They just beat them.
There was no Porzingis,
There's no
and
smart.
Porzingis,
And
and
now I think
quietly,
people are going to realize how important he was. There's no smart. That was your heart and soul defense. That was your leader. He was basically the oldest outside of Al Horford.
okay, but you
And
got a
Porzingis is
unicorn.
injury prone. So then what?
Porzingis, and quiet as kept because he was in hell. People missed it. Porzingis had his best year as a pro for the first
Yeah,
time in a good long minute.
yeah,
So
but why? Because he's injury prone. So now you're banking on a 7-3 dude who's injury prone. You lost the heart and soul of your team. And Miami would just get better because you just added Dame.
that's the idea. Well, okay, we'll see what happens.
You still have it. It's going to
You
happen.
you also lost Gabe Vincent to the Lakers, so you
I
lost
mean,
three
they
points.
lost 2 people. They lost Gabe Vincent and Max Strus.
Right.
But you still got
So
Caleb Martin. You will still have other pieces. And I heard they're even trying to get Ben Simmons in Miami too with Dame, which is
as it stands, at least today, Vegas has got Boston as the team to come
they
out of the East.
always do, and they never win. They never win. That's why they try to keep. That's why they got Porzingis. They can get to the line, but they never finish.
All right.
Pause.
And then lastly, I don't know what the question is if that roster fills out,
It's Denver.
the question is going to be, can you beat Phoenix 4 times in 2 weeks?
I don't know. Yeah. Here we go.
There's 90 points worth of firepower
You,
between
you
three
you
of them.
know who's going to be Phoenix? Injury guys.
Okay. Okay.
And Denver, because they still have no answer for Jokic. So what are we talking about? We saw what happened. Unless you trade DeAndre Ayton and get a defensive big,
Actually, actually,
they have no
Q Dub,
defense. Did we forget
Two
about that?
dark, two dark horse teams, and you better watch yourself on these
I mean,
two.
LA got better too.
The Lakers did get better, but I don't know if they're. I don't know. I got to see how it all looks together. I think they're going to be better because now they got a whole season with this squad. I'm shocked D'Lo is still
And more.
there.
I hate both
I'm
of them.
shocked D'Lo's still there.
I am too. I
But
hate that.
the reality situation is you better keep your eye on OKC. You better keep your eye
A
on
year or
former
two.
champion. Okay,
They're a year or two
Gilchrist,
away.
Gilchrist is a problem, and Chet Holmgren comes back and he's looking like a monster. Like,
They can
yeah,
make. They're gonna make the playoffs, but we're talking about like championship level threat. You think OKC is right now is ready to win a title or compete
no,
for it?
Are they Western Conference Finals material?
No. Second round at best. Probably first.
And I'm one of the few people. I just don't think the loss of Jordan Poole is going to be as major as people think. And I think I also don't think that Steph's Chris Paul is
It's
going to
not gonna
be a
work.
big issue.
It's not gonna work. You think that's what? Like, you thought that was a good idea? Like that works? You
I
think that's
wouldn't
gonna
have
work?
did it. I mean, I wouldn't have did personally if I'm a GM. I wouldn't have did it. But their
So why do you
GM
think
is
it's
a
gonna work?
their GM because their GM went to Duke, Mike Dunleavy Jr. So we're gonna trust the Dookie on this one. We're gonna trust we're gonna trust the Duke guys on this one.
Not the guy. Hold on. Oh wait, is is the one that assembled all this team still there?
Excuse me?
Is Bob? Is it Bob Myers?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh yeah, I
That's
don't
who
trust it. Man, I don't trust it. Man, Mike Dunleavy is his own. All right,
he
next.
went to Duke. Notice none of the Dukies at ESPN got fired. So we're gonna trust the Dookie on this one.
There's only one smarter one.
Here we go. Anywho, um, yeah, I think it's a three horse race. It's Denver by default, LA as in Lakers, and I'm just it signing Draymond back was a big deal. Having Chris Paul, that's one hell of a safety valve if he sticks around. I'm not 100% sure he sticks around. Maybe there's another trade in the works. I really would have liked to seen him in LA and have him and D'Lo split in time because I'm not really comfy with D'Lo as your starting point guard as we saw in the playoffs. Sadly, Hachimura being back, Reeves being back, that's really good stuff. I thought they're going to get Lopez, but Lopez went back to freaking Milwaukee because having Lopez and then AD can move to the four, that's a good thing. But I
Just
don't
pick five. But whatever. Terry
know.
Claw.
Stop, yeah. But yeah, that's. I don't know what the question is. I just don't. I'm not 100% sure the question is still, can you beat Denver 4 times in 2 weeks? But I am saying, can you beat
Oh,
Boston 4 times in 2 weeks? I think that's the
yes.
question
Yes. People done it
with
multiple times.
Porzingis.
Yeah. Let's see. Y'all are putting way too much stock on Porzingis.
He
And
had
then
his best
probably
season as a pro.
not enough stock on how big of a loss Marcus Smart is. I understand he's a glue and a hustle and a flopper. But he was a DPOY. He probably shouldn't have got it, but he was the heart and soul of defense. He was hustle. He did keep people accountable because it seems like Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown aren't really leaders like that. So that was your leader. He's gone. Now you have Porzingis, who you pray can stay healthy. And we'll see
I,
what he looks like as a third option. Because he
okay.
was probably a first in the Wizards. So it's not I don't know if he's gonna do the same thing. It was a good pickup, but we'll see. Who will run point guard? You need a playmaker. That's what they need. They ain't need really another big. They needed a playmaker.
We'll see. We will see. But Vegas agrees with me. Boston is the team to beat. But all
Yeah,
right,
it was all right. All right.
run it back. Oh, real quick before we wrap it up, did you catch that new Killer Mike yet?
I told you I listened to the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing?
Yeah,
I thought you.
I listened to it once though. It was cool. It was a good album. Classic.
Yeah,
I
you
think
want
that might
to
be pushing.
you want
That
to idol
is.
with that. Speaking of push, that's what I gotta listen to. I gotta listen. I gotta jump into the Jim Jones Pusha T thing just to see where we're going here.
I I mean Jones supposedly responded, but
Mm-hmm.
I, Jim, Jim, Mr. Love and Hip Hop himself too. I like I said, Pusha has a lot. If he dug up a lot of dirt on Drake, you know how much information is out there on you.
I,
If even from your own squad, who you are probably the worst rapper out of all, even Cameron, which is saying something.
not the camera bars.
Like I said, actually, you might be better than Cameron now. When you first came out, you was the weakest link, my boy. It was Joel's, Cameron, then you. Now it might be Joel's, you, then Cameron. Because you got better. I will give you props for that.
Yeah, he
But
gets
not
he
that
gets.
much better that you push a T level. Like, let's stop playing with our stuff. Like,
And I
let's.
know people want to expect me to go to New York bias. Like I can't. I get it. It's Harlem, but no. Like no. I can't do it. I'm so
I
I'm so sorry. This is bar for bar, and I'm like no, because I've always said yeah, Jim Jones is like the northern version of Jeezy. A whole bunch of swagger, but not a lot as far as bars are concerned. But okay, like it's all swagger. But when we start breaking down the bars, it's like, well, uh, eh,
I mean, yeah, it's great beats. Shout out to the Heat
you got
makers.
behind you. Like the Cowboys the '90s Cowboys offensive line. You can't help but get 5 yards. You can't
Yeah,
help it.
yeah.
Like you can
But
fall
Emmett
on the
was
five.
nice. Let's not act like Emmett one night. But it did help that he didn't get touched for 5 years.
Right, right. It's like you can't help but you could fall forward and get 5 yards. So yeah, like if I got hitmakers beats, I could sound like Cam and be nice. Oh, I'm sorry, but
I mean, people ain't even rapping now. We just making
I
just
could get on there
humming.
and be like shooters shooting, computers pooting. Like, oh, hell, yeah. I'm in a
Shoot.
rush like
I'm
I'm
shooting
Russian.
missiles like I'm Putin.
I'm in a rush like I'm Russian. Vladimir Putin. Like, I can get up there
Them
with the
blammers. Man, he really said that. I'm so sick of man. I'm mad I didn't realize he was really rapping like that when I was younger. He
dude. Like
really said that.
that's like the worst line ever is still to be he almost Tony Yayo whacked on that one. Because if like Tony Yayo, the only person that started the whole verse off, hey yo, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, you 50 is really your man, yo, because ain't no way you gonna count to four in Spanish on my song. No way. But
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
but okay. Run it back. Yeah. Hopefully at some point I don't have to lead off the show with the errors and abuse of law enforcement. I'm hoping I wake up tomorrow and find out these a-holes have been fired and charged. I understand that might be a dream, but I'm hoping tomorrow that's what I wake up to. Um, Florida. Florida is just Florida, man. Although I still say, yeah, y'all talk that noise, but y'all ain't about it for real. You ain't about to literally watch somebody bleed out because they trans or gay. I don't believe you. You need more people. Um, Using the term mass shooting is very been to me very interesting and changed up. And like I said, you hear mass shooter, there's a certain image that comes to mind, and that could be me, could be going on a conspiracy theory rabbit hole. But I think there's a concerted effort to try to change that. Um, the distractions. As I told you, I think two things can be true. Were there some things that happened that didn't make major new media in place that could have been better than this? Sure. But when we look at the things that did happen over the course of those 4 days, I'm not going to do shit no way. Like, there's no reason to distract anyone from anybody. Um, ESPN and their layoffs, uh, it's just wild who they picked. And I gotta take the hat off of Stephen A because it's easy for him to say nothing. It'd have been easy for him to be like, nah, I'm just gonna gloss over it. But I think it was cool for him to, speak on the people being lost to layoffs and not be a coon and not quote unquote code switch. He's at the point where I don't think he has a code switch. Lastly, like I said, my question in the Eastern Western Conference. Eastern Conference, can you beat Boston 4 times in 2 weeks? And in the West, I think it's going to be a question a lot of people don't see. I want to say the Lakers, but I'm not comfortable with that. So right now, I think the question in the West is once that roster fills out, Can you beat a team with 3 30-point scorers on any given night in 2 weeks? And
Yes.
we're not so sure.
Yes,
We
we
will
are.
see.
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. Your recap, sir.
All right. If pigs can fly, that would be great in LA, especially that pig there. That's a double entendre. Uh, Florida. Uh, see, this is one thing I will not test in life, and that's somebody that's born and raised and lives in Florida. I'm not going to test their gangster. I've seen things I thought was not possible to be done, or even thought of to be done, and they've done it. You can literally search Florida, and then every day of the month, and something crazy gonna pop up on Google. I've done it. Crazy. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I ain't gonna test the gangster of Florida people, boy. They different. So it's gonna be one. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm gonna be. All it takes is one. Um, use the term mass shooting. I mean, I still first thought is still the first thought of everyone, but them using it literally now because we're having diversity. This is not what I thought diversity meant, but okay. Uh, the sub distractions, I was right, and I gave multiple examples. I cooked on that argument, man. It was too easy, man. Too easy. Stop being easily distracted. Focus, people. Focus. If you want to be hyper focused on one thing, let it be important. Not celebrities and billionaires that don't matter. Sorry. Could have been avoided with that dumb boat. I will forever ride on that, so I don't care. But anyway, and Dame once out is going to be in Miami. You heard it here first. I'm telling everybody he's going to Miami, man. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. And ESPN layoffs, like I said, it sucks because they fired the wrong people. Like Perk still has a job. Malika Andrews still has a job. There's a lot
Really
of people
don't.
that have jobs that should not have a job. Whoever the off-brand people is, when the main people aren't there, still have jobs. And it's like, yeah. And then Stephen A. The C is still there, but you scraping it. Like you got the bottom C part. It's coming off a little. You're peeling away. But like I said, I can't take it completely because of the code switching. And like I said, on your own platform, you want to be you. But then when you put on your Disney ears, you sing a different tune. I don't respect that. Especially because we just see another special black man not do that. So it's not like it can't work.
Hmm.
And since you're the face, you can literally do it now. But you choose not to. Hey, teach his own, man.
Wow. Well, to that end, we're gonna wrap this on up. It has been an awesome pleasure to do this with you, my man. Same bad time, same bad channel next week. Thank all of y'all for tuning in. Had a blast. We talk about some other stuff we didn't dive deep into this week, but till next time, on behalf of I Said It podcast, peace.
Yeah.